So after about like a year of owning a photo and video studio, there has been quite a few ups and quite a few downs, and just things that I kind of want to talk about just to give you guys a general understanding of what it's like to be a business owner, and in this case, owning a content creation studio space. When I initially got this spot, it was back in early 2022. It's gotta be. Anyways, I got it about a year and a half now. That's how bad my memory is. But I initially got it because, again, I wanted to have a place where I can do photo and video at my own leisure without worrying about the hourly rate for rental. You can only imagine how much that starts adding up, right? You get a client who wants to do some portraits, who wants to get some pictures done. So now you have to go and hop on a place like PureSpace or, find some local studios around you and then charge them for the hourly rate, put all that stuff together, and eventually adds up. I figured most of my clients want very basic pictures. Most of the time it's a black and white backdrop. So I keep things pretty simple. My clients keep things pretty simple. And, we bring a couple props, maybe some balloons. They bring out some cool outfits and we get stuff done. I figured rather than trying to go through this headache of figuring out a studio, scheduling things out, and giving someone else all this money, essentially, for such a basic thing, if the spot came up that I can rent and kind of fits this criteria of being affordable for the rent and, being the price of which I already pay to rent these spots, then why not just get a rental? And this is where this space comes in. I'm very happy with the situation that I'm in right now. It's been pretty good so far. It's been much more convenient than just trying to, again, finagle with studio owners. Now I can do the shoots as long as I want, depending on the project, and not have to feel rushed and compromise my work. It's been great for that. And it's also been great from a personal standpoint because now I have my own little spot that I can work with. So if I don't want to work at home, I can always come here and just get my mind into work and just do all my stuff here. So it's been nice as a business and personal space as well. Yeah, those are all the good things, and those are the reasons why I got the place. But let me kind of break down on all the cons that it comes with as well. So those are all the good things of why it's nice to have your own studio space and your own personal workspace. So what about the cons, you might be asking? Well, the first and foremost is you have to remember that because this is a business, it is an out-of-pocket cost. So you will run into situations where you might not get any bookings for a while, but rent is still due. So now you still have to pay it up versus a situation like I was just saying where you're renting out someone else's space. You don't really have to worry about maintaining a rent or paying these bills. You only rent when you need to rent. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, that totally depends on your circumstance. So for me personally, this is a side hustle. This is not my primary hustle. My primary hustle is technology. I do a lot of software developing and technology stuff. So basically, this is a side hustle that I fully indulge in because it's something I love to do. I've always been a creative, artistic person. I started initially as a musician. I learned photography. I learned how to do videography, and I just love content creation. So that's what this space is primarily for. Even without the business and offering these services to other people, I would still have a space like this just because it allows me to be artistic and expressive and do things that I want to do at my own time and at my own leisure, at my own expense. And I'm in a blessed position to be able to do so. But for a lot of you out there who aren't in a financial situation like this where you can afford to make rent all the time and have multiple sources of income coming in, this might not be ideal because it does add up. Because like I said, you're now responsible for a monthly payment rather than a one-time payment for whenever and wherever you get hired for. So that's something to think about. The other thing you have to really think about too is just equipment and, cost of maintenance and things like that. As you can see back here, I have all these lights, I have all these stands, I have all these backdrops, I have all these tools and furniture and things like that. This whole place is fully carpeted, and I had to put some plywood down just to kind of help out with the paper backdrop for not ripping the carpet. All these things add up and they do cost money. So you have to think about that too, that when you rent a space out for photography and videography, you're not responsible for the maintenance and all the gear that comes with it. You're literally just renting it, using it, and you're done. But when you own a space, you're responsible for buying all your own equipment, whether you already have it or you need to go buy it. That's money that you got to spend. These are things that you really have to think about when you decide to go open up a photo and video studio. Another downside too that is not, I don't know if it's exclusive to the studio, but maybe it's issue entirely is the amount of gigs you're getting. If you're thinking that you're gonna open this business and like everybody's gonna start rushing to the door and hiring you immediately for photo and video content, that's not true at all. When I first got this place, I was trying to keep my expectations realistic. I'm like, maybe if I get 3 to 4 shoots a month, that should be more than sufficient. But I have literally gone through months where nobody is renting and nobody is booking me for any gigs. So I'm glad I have multiple sources of income coming in. But like, if you think this is gonna be your primary source of bread and butter, you might have to really think about your location. Like, you might want somewhere where there's a lot of foot traffic. The studio that I have here is not one of those walk-in places where people can just stare through the glass and be like, hey, I think I want pictures done today. Let me walk on right in. I book clients by appointments. This is just the way I structure my business, and it works for me. Yeah, if you're expecting a lot of foot traffic and constant bookings, you might want to put your studio somewhere where there's a good amount of parking and it's visible so people can do walk-ins. And another thing that has been a downer, but I, again, don't think it's studio related. I think it's just the field in general is it's overly saturated from what I noticed. Nowadays, if you go on any kind of social media or you just look up for any local photographer, videographer, there's a lot of them. They don't even have websites or things like that, but they're all photographers. Now, like your grandma, your grandpa, your uncle, your niece, your nephew, your kids, whatever, they are probably all photographers and videographers now. And like, I'm not knocking on them because like in this day and age, everything is so accessible. Like technology is great, the gear is great, it's easy to use, it's quick to pick up, and everybody just wants to get into it, which is great. But at the same time, that is causing a bit of a saturation. What I have noticed is the pricing for a lot of things have gone down tremendously. And sometimes other people really lowball the prices and it kind of messes up your pricing structure as well. And sometimes some of the services they offer, whether it's quality or not, just because it's there, it makes your client go like, well, this person's shooting portraits and they're gonna shoot a video, so what have you got to offer? And I'm sitting over here going like, I would be surprised if that content is quality, because if you're able to juggle both photo and video at the same time for the same job, like props to you. Like, you're like the Tony Jaa of freaking photography and videography. If you're trying to do a job really well and excellent, I feel like you're putting your attention in too many spots and one's quality is gonna dip over the others. That's been my experience with this so far. And you know, for better or worse, it is what it is. You just kind of have to go with the flow and learn how to adjust. Yeah, with all that being said, if you're looking to open a photo and video studio, you just kind of have to really think about why you're doing it. Are you doing it for yourself, which is fine, or are you doing it to make money? If you're doing it for yourself, you got to keep the bills and your expectations realistic. If you're doing it for the money, you got to put it somewhere where there's a lot of foot traffic and you really got to market the hell out of it and you really got to get the people in and book those clients. If you're kind of like where I am right now, where you're doing this no matter what and you just love what you do, then by all means, go get a space, make sure it's affordable, and just have fun and create content. But if you're looking at it to make money, you just got to be good at it and you got to keep up with the competition. But yeah, hopefully you guys found this video helpful. If you didn't, let me know in the comments down below what you found helpful, what you thought was a blabber and not helpful. Let me know as well. I always take everything back as constructive criticism. If you are a photo or video studio owner, let me know what your experience has been like in this field, and are you going through the same struggles or are you doing very well? Let me know as well, and I'd love any advice to help me improve. I welcome all feedback. Until next time, this is your boy Fong over here at FL Productions. I got some work to do and some things to hang up. And with that being said, I hope to see you guys soon again. And thank you again for being wonderful as always. And until next time, I'm out. Peace.